The National Gallery of Ireland houses the Irish National Collection of Irish and European art. It is located in the centre of Dublin with one entrance on Merrion Square, beside Leinster House, and another on Clare Street. Due to ongoing renovations, the Clare Street entrance is the only one currently open. It was founded in 1854 and opened its doors 10 years later. The gallery has an extensive representative collection of Irish painting and is also notable for its Italian Baroque and Dutch masters painting. The current director is Sean Rainbird. Entry is free. History. In 1853 an exhibition, the Great Industrial Exhibition, was held on the lawns of Leinster House in Dublin. Among the most popular exhibits was a substantial display of works of art organised and underwritten by the railway magnate William Dargan. The enthusiasm of the visiting crowds demonstrated a public for art, and it was decided to establish a permanent public art collection as a lasting monument of gratitude to Dargan. The moving spirit behind the proposal was the barrister John Edward Pigott, son of David Richard Pigott, chief baron of the Irish Exchequer, and he became one of the first governors of the gallery. The facade of the National Gallery copies the natural history building of the National Museum of Ireland, which was already planned for the facing flank of Leinster House. The building itself was designed by Francis Folk, based on early plans by Charles Lanyon, and was completed and opened in 1864. The gallery was unlucky not to have been founded around an existing collection, but through diligent and skillful purchase. By the time it opened it had 125 paintings. In 1866 an annual purchase grant was established, and by 1891 space was already limited. In 1897, the Dowager Countesses of Milltown indicated her intention of donating the contents of Rosborough House to the gallery. This gift included about 223 paintings, 48 pieces of sculpture, 33 engravings, much silver, furniture and a library, and prompted construction from 1899 to 1903 of what is now called the Milltown Wing, designed by Thomas Newnham Dean. At around this time Henry Vaughan left 31 watercolours by J. M. W. Turner with the requirement that they could only be exhibited in January, this to protect them from the ill effects of sunlight, though modern lighting technology has made this stipulation unnecessary. The gallery continues to restrict viewing of the Vaughan bequest to January, and the exhibition is treated as something of an occasion. Another substantial bequest came with the untimely death in the sinking of the Lusitania of Hugh Lane. Since 1914 director of the gallery, not only did he leave a large collection of pictures, he also left part of his residual estate, and the Lane Fund has continued to contribute to the purchase of artworks to this day. In addition to his involvement in the gallery, Hugh Lane has also hoped to found a gallery of modern art, something only realised after his death in Dublin City Gallery. The Hugh Lane. George Bernard Shaw also made a substantial bequest, leaving the gallery a third of royalties of his estate in gratitude for the time he spent there as a youth. The gallery was again extended in 1962 with a new wing designed by Frank Dewberry of the Office of Public Works. This opened in 1968 and is now named the Bate Wing. In 1978 the gallery received from the government the paintings given to the nation by Chester Beatty, and in 1987 the Sweeney bequest brought 14 works of art including paintings by Picasso and Jack B. Yeats. The same year the gallery was once again given some of the contents of Rosborough House when Alfred Bate donated 17 masterpieces, including paintings by Velázquez, Murillo, Steen, Vermeer and Rayburn. In the 1990s, the Los Caravaggio, The Taking of Christ, known through replicas, was discovered hanging in a Jesuit house of studies in Leeson Street in Dublin by Sergio Benedetti, senior conservator of the gallery. The Jesuits have generously allowed this painting to be exhibited in the gallery, and the discovery was the cause of national excitement. The painting was on loan to an Italian gallery from February until July 2010 as part of Caravaggio's 400th anniversary. In 1997, Anne Yates donated sketchbooks by her uncle Jack Yates, and the gallery now includes a Yates Museum. Dennis Mann, a well-known art critic, promised the gallery part of his rich collection, and 8 paintings from his promised bequest are on permanent display, including Jacob blessing the sons of Joseph by Guercino. The directors of the gallery have been George Mulvaney (1862–69), Henry Doyle (1869–92), Walter Armstrong (1892–1914), Hugh Lane (1914–15), Robert Langton Douglas (1916–23), Lucius O'Callaghan (1923–27), Thomas Bodkin (1927–35), George Furlong (1935–50), Thomas McGreevy (1950–63), James White (1964–80), Homan Potterton (1980–88), Raymond Keveney (1988–2012), Sean Rainbird (2012–present). Millennium Wing. A new wing, called the Millennium Wing, was opened in 2002. Unlike the previous 2 extensions, this new wing has street frontage, and the English architects Benson and Amp Forsyth gave it an imposing Bowers Whitbed, Portland stone facade and grand atrium. The design originally involved demolishing an adjoining Georgian terrace house and its ballroom mews. However, the Irish Planning Appeals Authority, a board plenala, required that they be retained. The Millennium Wing is not without its critics. It is unforgiving of poor maintenance, and the compromise in the design as required by an board plenala resulted in a final design diluted from the original competition-winning building concept. The circulation space also lacks clarity, but it is generally considered that these flaws are trivial details set against the drama of the building. In line with its brutalist style, the interior concrete walls are still unsealed. Master Development Plan. In March 2011, the Office of Public Works commenced work on the gallery's historic complex at Merrion Square to address a critical need for the repair and renovation of the existing building fabric. The first phase of the works program, which involved the removal and replacement of the Dargan wing roof, is now complete. The next 2 phases of the project will involve the redesign and replacement of the Milltown wing roof, followed by an extensive upgrade of the fabric and services of the buildings. Refurbishment of the 2 wings is scheduled to be completed by 2016. A small display providing an architectural overview of the gallery is now open in the Bate Wing in Room 13A. Location, access and facilities. The National Gallery of Ireland is located in the heart of Georgian Dublin. There are 2 entrances, one at Merrion Square and the other at Clare Street. The Merrion Square entrance is closed during renovations. Admission to the gallery is free, and many talks, tours and events as well as the audio guide are also free of charge. The gallery launched a free smartphone app in 2013. Dublin bus routes 4, 7, 8, 39A and 46A all pass by the gallery. The The Pierce Street Dart station is 5 minutes on foot, as is the St Stephen's Green stop on the Green Line of the Lewis. The Abbey Street stop of the Red Line of the Lewis is a 20-minute walk away. There are 2 Dublin bike stations just outside the gallery, one at Clare Street and the other at Merrion Square West. All galleries and entrances are wheelchair and buggy accessible, and there are disabled parking spaces outside the Merrion Square entrance. Tours for the visually and hearing impaired are regularly organized. Visitors with guide dogs are welcome in the gallery. The lecture theatre, AV room and gallery shop are all fitted with a loop system for the hearing impaired. Highlights: the collection has about 14,000 artworks, including about 2,500 oil paintings, 5,000 drawings, 5,000 prints, and some sculpture, furniture and other works of art. Spanish Luis de Morales Jerome in the Wilderness 1570s. Giuseppe de Ribera St Onufrius late 1620s. Diego Velázquez kitchen made with the Supper of Emmaus c. 1617–18. Francisco Zurbarán the Immaculate Conception early 1660s. Bartolomé Esteban Murillo The Return of the Prodigal Son c. 1660. Francisco José de Goya y Lucienstonia Antonio Sarate c. 1805–06. Pablo Ruiz Picasso Still Life with Mandolin 1924. Juan Gris Piero 1921. French Jacques Vernet The Annunciation c. 1435. The Lamentation over the Dead Christ 1657–60. Jean Lemaire Architecture Landscape with Classical Figures 1627–30. Jean-Baptiste Siméon Chardin Still Life 2 Rabbits, a Grey Partridge Game Bag and Powder Flask 1731. Jean-Honoré Fragonard Venus and Cupid c. 1755. Eugene Delacroix Demosthenes on the Seashore 1859. Gustave Courbet Portrait of Adolphe Mahler 1851. Alfred Sisley The Banks of the Canal du Loing at St Mams 1888. Claude Monet Argenteuil Basin with a Single Sailboat 1874. Paul Signac Lady on the Terrace 1898. Kees van Dong and Stella in a Flowered Hut c. 1907. Haim Soutine Landscape with the Flight of Stairs c. 1922. Italian Master of Verrocchio The Crucifixion Noli Me Tangere c. 1330–40. Fra Angelico Sts Cosmas and Damien and the Brothers Surviving the Stake c. 1440–42. Zanobi Strozzi Assumption of the Virgin with Sts Jerome and Francis 1460s. Filippino Lippi Portrait of a Musician late 1480s. Titian Ecce Homo c. 1558–60. Giovan Battista Mironi Portrait of a Gentleman and his 2 children c. 1570. Caravaggio The Taking of Christ 1602. Guido Reni The Suicide of Cleopatra c. 1639–40. Domenichino St. Mary Magdalene c. 1625. Guercino Jacob Blessing the Sons of Jacob c. 1620. Sassoferrato Virgin and Child 1630s. Luca Giordano Venus, Mars and the Forge of Vulcans 1660s. Carlo Maratta The Rape of Europa c. 1680–5. Francesco Solomina Allegory of Winter c. 1690. Canaletto St. Mark's Square c. 1756. Ugolino di Nerio Prophet Isaiah. Paolo Uccello Virgin and Child. German and Swiss Salzburg School Christ on the Cross with the Virgin Mary and John c. 1430. Master of the Youth of St. Romuald taking leave of his parents c. 1490. Georg Pence Portrait of a Gentleman 1549. Angelica Kaufmann, The Ely Families, 1771. Emile Knoll, The Two Women in a Garden, 1915. Flemish Peter Bruegel, The Younger Peasant Wedding, 1620. Peter Paul Rubens, St. Peter Finding the Tribute Money, 1617–18. Jacob Jourdain's The Veneration of the Eucharist, c. The Supper at Emmaus, c. 1645–65. Anthony van Dyck, A Boy Standing on a Terrace, c. 1623–24. Dutch Marinus van Ramerswaal, The Calling of Matthew, c. 1530–40. Gerrit van Honthorst, A Musical Party, c. 1616–18. Rembrandt, A Main Chord, c. 1628. Willem Cornelis Doester, Interior with Soldiers, 1632. Aelbert Cuyp, Milking Cows, 1640s. Matthias Stomer, The Arrest of Christ, c. 1641. Rembrandt, Landscape with the Rest on the Flight into Egypt, 1647. Willem Drost, Bust of a Man Wearing a Large Brimmed Hat, c. 1654. Antony Delorme, Interior of St. Lawrence Kirk, Rotterdam, c. 1660–65. Gabriel Metsu, Man Writing a Letter, c. Woman Reading a Letter, c. 1663. Jan Steen, The Village School, c. The Marriage Feast at Cana, 1665–70. Johannes Vermeer, Lady Writing a Letter with Her Maid, c. 1670. Cornelis Troost, Geronimus Donoman and His Son Geronimus, 1736. Nicolas de Gisela, Interior with Figures. Emmanuel de Witt, Church Interior. Franz Hals Fisher, Boy with Basket. British and American William Hogarth, The Weston Family, c. The Mackinnon Children, c. 1747. Thomas Gainsborough, 1727–88. A View in Suffolk, c. The Cottage Girl, 1785. Oh My, 1776. Charles Coode, the 1st Earl of Bellamont, 1776. Henry Raeburn, Sir John and Lady Clark of Pennycook, 1791. George Romney, Titania, Puck and the Changeling, from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, 1793. John Singer Sargent, The Bead Stringers of Venice, 1880–82. Stanley Royal, The Goose Girl, c. 1921. Francis Wheatley, The Dublin Volunteers on College Green, the 4th of November, 1779–1779–80. Andrew Festing, Irish Kevin A. Bosch, Portrait of Brian O'Driscoll, 2011. Self-portrait as Tim Ants, c. The Death of Adonis. Augustus Nicholas Burke, Connemara Girl. Nathaniel Hone the Elder, The Conjurer, 1775. Hugh Douglas Hamilton, Frederick Harvey, Bishop of Derry and 4th Earl of Bristol, with his granddaughter Lady Caroline Crichton, in the gardens of the Villa Borghese, Rome, c. 1790. Francis Danby, The Opening of the Sixth Seal, 1828. Daniel Maclise, The Marriage of Strongbow and Aoife, 1854. Sarah Purcell, Petit Déjeuner, 1881. Roderick O'Connell, Lejeune Breton, c. 1895. Walter Osborne, In a Dublin Park, Light and Shade, c. 1895. John Lavery, The Artist's Studio. Lady Hazel Lavery with her daughter Alice and stepdaughter Eileen, 1909–13. Paul Henry, Launching the Curragh, 1910–11. William John Leach, Convent Garden, Brittany, c. 1912. Sean Keating and Allegory, c. 1922. Mayne Gellert, Decoration, 1923. Gerard Dillon, The Little Green Fields, c. 1945. Louise Le Brocquy, A Family, 1951. William Orpen, Portrait of John Count McCormack, 1923. The Yeats Collection, Jack B. Yeats, Bachelor's Walk, In Memory, 1915. Grief, 1952. John Butler Yeats, John O'Leary, 1904. drawings and watercolors. James Moulton, The Custom House. Joseph Mallard, William Turner, Fishing Boats on Folkestone Beach. Dante Gabriel Rossetti, Jane Burden as Queen Guinevere, 1858. Frederick William Burton, Halil and Hildebrand. The Meeting on Turret Stairs, 1864-1864. James Abbott McNeill, Whistler Nocturne in Grey and Gold, Piccadilly, 1881-83. Edgar Degas, Two Ballet Dances in a Dressing Room.